Hello, my name is Julien van Dichel and I am the Sales and Business Development Manager at Drive Now, which will soon become Share Now. Today I will share with you my vision and the vision of our company on mobility in Brussels and what the future holds for mobility in cities everywhere across Europe and the world. Today we see more and more operators of mobility coming towards Brussels every day. When we arrived in the market in July 2016, we were one of the only free-floating car sharing system in Brussels. We were then joined by Zipcar, and we also joined the long-term player in the market called Cambio, a station-based model. With the free-floating model, it is easy to pick up a car in one location and drop it off at the other location. We operate under a pay-as-you-minute price where everything is included. The car, the fuel, of course, the parking across the whole of Brussels, and the taxes and insurance. So why do people use car sharing? Car sharing can be a viable option instead of owning a second car. A first car may be mandatory in the first sense or now, but maybe in the future will not be. But as a second car, a car sharing car is definitely something that is useful, especially compared to the costs of owning a car and parking a car here in Brussels. If I can give you a quick example, going to the shop, for example, you can easily walk to the shop, but if you buy too much water or too many bottles of wine, then you can easily put those in the back of a car that you have just reserved à la minute, and then you can drive home and park it for free outside of your house, take the shopping upstairs, and then end your rental like you can do with Drive Now. We see that a combination of all the services in Brussels is really the way to go forward. The public transport, the car sharing services, the bike sharing services, and the micro-mobility services in Brussels will really help us decongest our roadways, will help us decongest the parking. So for that first car, you might have more parking spaces if you also combine it with car sharing. And we will see, and you will see in your own pocket, that it might be even more beneficial. For example, with us, a casual user uses Drive Now 4 times a month and spends on average around 20 to 25 euros a month. Compare that to your parking fees for your own car of 200 euros a month. This is definitely something worth thinking about. Also in your own cities, Drive Now is most likely available, and the fact that you can drive with a car sharing service or free-floating car sharing service to the airport one way and leave the car there, fly to your home city and pick up a free-floating car sharing service locally there to your home is something that might be looking into instead of spending a lot of money in the parking spaces. Together with other mobility services in Brussels, we have to let the consumer know how to use all the services in combination. How to use car sharing service, how to use a bike sharing service, and how to use a scooter sharing service in combination with one another and the public transport to make sure that we are as mobile and as flexible in the city as possible. Once we reach this point where everyone is using every means of transport to get efficiently from A to B, the city will really start to win. We will see that the city will become greener, will become livelier, and we will see that we will have a more livable Brussels for the future.